was a Friday afternoon in the fall of 2010. I was on my way to picking up my girls from school when I was hit by a speeding driver who ran a red light, leaving my car totaled and my spine shattered. 5 years later, and many surgeries and procedures later, I had recently had electrodes inserted into my spine and wired to a battery implanted in my back, transforming me into a bionic being. So, anyone would love to be a bionic creature, you say, right? But let me tell you a secret known only to us, bionic creatures. Bionic powers are totally overrated. That might sound unbelievable to you, maybe, in contradiction to human intuition? Possibly, especially if you're familiar with Steve Austin's amazing powers from the 70s, or you're a Star Wars fan and dream of possessing Luke Skywalker's bionic powers. But let me tell you something, and this is going to blow your mind away and make you feel more special than ever. We, all of us humans, we possess the so-called powers to see clear, just like Steve Austin, as far as it comes to reading emotion and intention. But you're probably asking yourself now, so if I'm that much of a clear-reading semi-bionic creature, how come I do such a bad job at reading other people's emotions and intentions? And how come other people who are also part of this elite semi-bionic tribe do such a bad job at reading my intentions of emotions? Luckily for me, I was expecting an intelligent audience who's eager to challenge. And here's the answer. Over time, we are trained to deactivate the huge advantage that was bestowed on us humans and settle for a blurry vision. All of us humans, we have the innate capacity to see clear, just like Steve Austin. We just need to know where to look. So just in case you're still a bit skeptical about sharing my bionic powers, I ask that you take a look at the two images projected now on the screen and determine which one strikes you as the friendly type, someone you might enjoy having coffee with, and which of the men strikes you as the unpleasant type, someone you'd rather keep your distance from. And now that you've made your selection, I ask that if you find the man depicted in image A to be the friendly type, to please clap once now. If you find the man depicted in image B to be the friendly type, please clap once now. Interestingly, but not at all surprisingly, most of you perceive the man depicted in image B to be the friendly type, while perceiving the man in image A to be the unpleasant type. And here's the best thing. You are absolutely correct in your reading. While image A is Gary Ridgway, one of the most notorious serial killers known to mankind, who was convicted in 49 separate murders, but confessed to almost double that number. Image B is Jeff Parnas. He's a CNN hero who spent the last decade devoting his time to rebuilding communities after disasters. So based on their images only, and without any verbal cue, you were able so easily, so naturally, to tell apart the hero from the villain. Does this mean that this is your lucky day today and you should catch the next flight to Las Vegas? I probably would not recommend that. This is, however, your lucky day in that you get to reconnect with your bionic powers. But let's go back for just a second to Jeff's image and try to determine what was it in his body language that triggered your bionic powers to judge him to be pleasant, to be the friendly type. And that must be his genuine smile that served to send you a message. Look at me. I am friendly. I'm harmless. I am safe to accept on a personal level. And while smiling is universally known as a sign of happiness, studies done on our closest cousins, the chimpanzees, show that smiling is also a sign of submission. On the left side, you see a chimp smile known as the fear face, which resembles the human smile. And it serves to send the message to a dominant primate saying, look at me, I'm afraid of you, I'm not a threat to you. On the right side, you see a chimp smile known as play face, which resembles the human laughter. And it serves to send the same exact message, telling a dominant primate, I am harmless. Look at me, I'm fun, I'm playful. So at its root, smiling serves as a fear reaction sent from a submissive primate to a dominant one in an attempt to avoid confrontation. But we humans, we're also primates, and smiling in us humans serve the same exact purpose. It serves to ensure our safety and survival as a species. And that is exactly the vibe that you got from Jeff's smile, sending you a message. Look at me. I'm safe to approach. I will not be jeopardizing your safety. And at the same token, it is not at all surprising that highly dominant people, such as Vladimir Putin, Margaret Thatcher, and Clint Eastwood, are so very rarely seen smiling. They simply cannot afford to look submissive. But the question is, how do we tell apart the genuine smile from the fake one? While in the fake smile, also known as the social smile, the lip corners stretch only sideways. When we smile genuinely, another set of muscles kick in, resulting in the lip corners stretching sideways, but also upwards. But most importantly, when we smile genuinely, our eyes smile as well, resulting in the smile wrinkles that are very clearly seen on the right side of the screen. But the next question is, what is exactly the mechanism guiding us in making such fast life and death decision? And that brings us to the most fascinating and complex organ, the brain. These 3 pounds of matter, accounting for only 2% of adult body weight, is by far the most advanced brain on the market. And that is thanks to its large neocortex that is in charge of our higher level functioning, such as learning and memory and judgment. However, the reptilian brain, the oldest structure, is in charge of the vital function, such as breathing and heart rate. But when it comes to ensuring our safety and our survival as a species, it is the limbic system that is in charge. The limbic system is in charge of emitting body language signals that are considered, unlike words, to be honest. So the limbic system is considered to be the honest brain, which result in manifestations that are reliable and true of our emotions, our intentions, and our thoughts. And since human communication is accounted for over 90% by nonverbal communication, with body language accounting toward 55%, reconnecting with your innate capacity to deciphering and interpreting body language could provide you with a huge advantage when reading the body language of others as well as your own body language. And since this is your lucky day after all, please let me offer you a few hands-on tools. So from now on, your projected body language is guaranteed to be positive. And when it comes to such advantages, first impressions are key. First impression rely 4 times more on body language and nonverbals than on words. More so, when we meet someone new, we have only 7 seconds from the time we meet that person until the other person had already concluded a judgment about us. So mastering the body language of confidence and credibility could be the determining factor if you get that next job offer, you close that business deal, or you advance your social life. So make sure when you meet someone new to first adjust your posture. Make sure you look confident and you look open. Pull your shoulders slightly to the back. Stand upright. Make sure there are no boundaries. Do not ever place your hands in your pockets, and it will send a message of disinterest, arrogance to others. Don't ever cross your arms, as you will be perceived as nervous, as closed off. Your credibility will drop. Make sure at all times that your posture and gestures are as open and inviting as possible. And put a smile on. A smile is a warm invitation. It sends a message to another person that you are harmless, that you are safe to accept on a personal level. And the best part about a smile, it will do you wonders as well. It will serve to decrease your heart rate, decrease your stress level, and increase your sense of power, your sense of confidence. And do not forget to shake hands. A handshake is a sign of trust, a sign of welcome. It is by far the fastest and most effective way to create rapport. So in order to make it right the first time, make sure your handshake is always warm and friendly. Make sure the palms are touching to create this human bond. Make sure the palms are vertical, so to create equality, so no one is either perceived dominant, has the upper hand, or submissive, has the lower hand. And always apply the same pressure as the one you receive. And don't forget to make eye contact. Eye contact is incredibly powerful since it is connected to our primal need for survival. As a rule of thumb, the greater the eye contact, the greater the rapport created. However, make sure its intensity is appropriate for both the culture as well as the situation, be it business situation or personal one. And finally, always allow your rekindled bionic powers to lead the way. You have an innate capacity to decoding and interpreting body language. So from now on, never settle for less than a clear vision. Thank you.